Welcome to Business Influencers. My name is Chris Salem, your host. We want to thank all of you here that watch the show each and every week. Again, we want to thank all of you for making this show climb in the numbers each and every week because of you. We feel free to share this show with anybody that you feel is looking to raise their level of influence and take their business to the next level. We are committed to your success, and we welcome any feedback to any new content or subject matter information that will help to move your level of business and influence to the next level. Feel free to reach out to us at chris@christophersalem.com. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types, an opportunity to meet new people for the first time or rekindle old relationships. This is a membership program, but it takes all the noise out of social media, allowing you to come in on your time to generate genuine and authentic relationships with people that you haven't talked to in a while and meeting new people for the first time. This could be a great place to now meet your next new business partner or land your next great job opportunity. This also offers a wide array of different services that are not available to the general public. And if you'd like some more information on Alumni Direct, feel free to reach out to them at alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about amplifying impact. Yes, amplifying impact. We're with Cristina Imre, and she is an executive coach, business strategist for tech founders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs or visionary leaders to shape a better future. I love it. Short and sweet, but you're going to get to know Cristina a lot more here on the show and learn about how do we go about amplifying impact in through our level of influence and also through our businesses, especially for you startups out there. Cristina, welcome to the show.
Very happy to be here, Christopher. This was a long wait, I think, because we talked about it for a long time, but here we are today.
Here we are, and you're now with us coming from Romania. I'm in the New York area, but the beauty of technology, it doesn't matter where we are, we can all be right here at this very moment.
Exactly. I work from Romania for a long time as a pioneer in remote with a US-based company because most of my clients are from North America. So it's basically just here physically, but mentally I'm over there with you, Chris.
Well, we can't wait to hear from your experience working with North American organizations. But let's first do a deep dive and let's talk about like impact. You know, we hear that word impact quite a bit, and, impact and, people can perceive it in different ways. But now more than ever, if we're able to amplify that, when you amplify, we're raising the vibration, we're raising the frequency, how people may look at that. But when we talk about raising our level of impact or amplifying that impact, what would that mean, Cristina, when it comes to businesses and what they can be doing in their respective industries and helping others as well?
Today, we have so many opportunities to scale a business, and it's even more important to filter the right type of businesses and leaders, especially. So here is my work as well. And when I think about impact, it's about who do I want to serve? Who do I want to help to create that kind of impact? Because every time when you amplify something, it can be good or bad, and it's very important for us to judge, or at least to see the good parts of humanity and also the right type of people and leaders in this particular instance that might deserve to bring us to the future. And so my work is very filtered, and I am doing my best to filter the right type of individuals and companies who deserve to grow and be successful, because, there is also good and evil now. Things are happening in our world. That's something that we cannot debate too much. And so it's the time for the right type of good-hearted, well-intentioned, long-term, purposeful, driven leaders to gain momentum and get successful enough to be also role models and bring us closer to a better future, not the wrong one.
No, it's great. Like you said, there's so many things that are changing. I mean, it's technology and world events, and a lot of these things are beyond our control. But there are things that we can control, and if we're able to really focus on that as businesses, we can create more impact. What would you recommend if you have a startup company that's listening right now, or it could be a company that's doing well, but they're looking to now get to that next level in their industry, or it could just be on an individual level, like a CEO looking to create more value to the industry that he or she serves. What would you recommend? Like, what would be a process to go about amplifying their impact?
Networking, the right type of networking. Today, you have the possibility to start knowing the right type of individuals, companies, VCs, investors, you name it, who can truly bring you to the next level, but you need to invest consistent time in this. And many founders are lost in this part because they focus too much on their product, and they consider that if my product is noble enough, good enough, awesome enough, and my intentions are good, then things will just pick up. No, every successful founder and company has tons of steps, has a strategy, a common favorite word, Chris. So it has a strategy at the beginning where they want to go and what they want to do. And so building the right type of relationship starts before you even have a business. Okay, now if you have a business, you need to start and continue and nurture, because usually many founders are doing this, especially in the tech arena, where maybe people-centric skills are not something too familiar for them. And for example, they come to me just to help them at the right moment when they need it, but they didn't build a relationship with me at first hand. I could just name Product Hunt because I am very known or popular in certain circles, and in the tech arena, I try to be. And if they see me active in some circles, they consider, and that I love founders and I have founders and I'm an executive coach with founders, even if they are growth stage or above, they consider that I will help everyone anytime when they want to. And so I have all kinds of requests on a daily basis, including from Product Hunt, just because they saw me there and they saw a couple of my posts. And hey, we launch tomorrow, please help us with this. I mean, you can do that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but when you see that your time is abused a little bit and it's the only intention of them to connect with you and not creating a real relationship, that's something that might backfire, even if not today, but tomorrow, when our relationship might be from a different ground and you just lost that initial connection and true desire to know the person. So when I talk about networking, the main word, the magic, the power word is truly to be interested in the people. Obviously, you can choose the right type of people, but when you approach them and when you start a conversation, you don't think about getting the business right away that time. No, you think about who they are, if they have synergy with you, and just create a relationship like in dating before asking anything more.
Oh, that's great information that you get. And sometimes that's a hard thing to do. It, like you said, it's like dating, right? You meet somebody, they might look good on paper or the profile, whatever, like a LinkedIn profile, but until we get to know them, we don't know. And sometimes, our time is valuable. And, are we investing in the right people that are going to help us move forward? And thus we're helping them move forward as well, whether if that's directly related to your business or just to your personal success in itself. So I absolutely see how that can definitely amplify your impact for sure. Yeah.
And I would add here that we need to get back to be more human, because I saw a huge deterioration in communication. And I trained communication since 2000, I believe, 2001. And if I would go back, and you have 3 decades of expertise, Chris, maybe you saw the same thing, that if I would go back to my first early trainings in communication and what I would need to teach today, it's like we went back into kindergarten.
Yeah.
Really, we went backwards. And today, this is a real risk because we start to not know each other. When I ask, and if someone hears me now, I would really love them to know that if I approach you on LinkedIn or anywhere and ask you, how are you? I truly want an answer, not just okay. And it's not just a question, just to put a question. And I don't want to know. I truly want to know, how are you? And this becomes a real struggle for me because I don't receive the answers and I truly want to know them.
Yeah, no, true. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so true. And communication is so important, what you said, Cristina. You know, oftentimes I often say that the reason why we have problems between people, whether it's one-to-one, one-to-many, or just in general in our world, is because our communication is so, it's based on assumptions and speculation. It's not actually very specific, clear, and concise, because I feel people don't really step up to be responsible for the communication, whether if they're the sender receiver. Can you elaborate further on that and how that plays into creating more impact in how businesses now can connect with their respective audiences or in their industries to move forward?
I would say it's almost everything, because we have many magic ingredients, but the right type of communication, especially in a remote setting where I am an expert for over 10 years, because I was also a fractional executive for remote companies who didn't know what's that, and they needed to set up some processes in remote. Also, I just authored a book that will come out soon this fall about remote, and from a famous university. And also as a serial entrepreneur and working in the remote space, every time when you are thinking about communication, you need to think over communication, especially today. In tech, you can have so many big errors if you are not communicating concisely, but also creating the right type of relationship, basically.
Yeah.
So for example, many times I enter in a company, especially for my fractional executive roles, I needed to enter in a company and read that company, profile the company as a whole, and then profile the people, because that's one of my assets as well. And pretty much every time I discovered very early on huge communication issues that led to internal conflict, sometimes for 2 years, and between leaders who then just created a lot of backfiring effect, because they didn't communicate between each other, they didn't stand each other, and most of the time it was just because of a very minor reason, and because they never had the platform to talk, they just let it be, So I took on myself mediation sessions for conflicts in companies, and this didn't happen just like occasionally. It happened pretty much in every company I entered, because being focused on understanding people, I realized that they feel misunderstood, they feel unheard, their needs are seen as something shallow or not important, especially in a tech remote company. And then they just execute tasks. And every time when you focus only on the task, you lose the human, you lose the brilliance, the excellence, and the best problem-solving assets from the company. Because when you open up the person and you want to know what is these dreams, passion, long-term goals, what's about, say something about their families, and you just understand them as a whole, a complex human, then you can very nicely create a parallel universe where their personal goals are combined with your business goals. And when you can create that, then magic happens, because that person will be enabled to do whatever he or she can to do its best for your company.
Very well put. Very well put. I love this, and it's so important. In terms of like now, when we talk about influence, influence can mean different things to different people. And usually here at Business Influencers, we talk about how we can position our businesses as trusted advisors. We're more than just what we do. We're here to be a trusted source for what's really important to people that we do business with. It may not always be about our products and services. We might be a resource where we steer them somewhere else. when we're talking about impact, how, again, if we could talk about that, what would be some of the things that from your perspective, when you're working with startups or other organizations now going to that next level in their growth process, what would you recommend and share with them that would work well to create that impact?
Yeah, so when I was talking about networking, is also creating the right type of connections with high impact people, already influential people. I also work with such people, but it's not exactly in the open, because like ultra high network individuals are another kind of niche, but they have a lot of impact. So it's good to create around you a network of people who already have the impact, but maybe they don't know what to do with it. And so it's not enough to just have a club or a group of people who can reach out to 10 people. It's important to attract the diverse group of individuals who can have that type of impact. And all the time, you need to build yours. Like, for example, public speaking, keynote speaking. I love to be on stage, and I hope I will have more opportunities in the future. But it's also one of those moments where you can show who you truly are, what's your message, what's your purpose in life, and what you want to achieve. Because as many people can hear you, see you, as many the right type of individuals you will attract, and then the impact will increase. So I constantly say that you need to make yourself visible enough for that right type of people to find you. And because if you are somewhere in the corner, and even if you are the best in the world, and many awesome people, genius people are on this world, and no one knows about them, or they don't create anything for their platform to grow and be visible. So make yourself visible, use your networking skills, improve them or learn from scratch to attract, to connect, and keep a real authentic relationship with the right type of people who want to create impact. Because again, it's also important, what is your goal? If your goal is like with friends, let's go and have a drink and just have some fun, that's not impact. That's relaxing moment for you, and it's good for your mental health, but that's it. If you want to create a big impact, then you want to be surrounded with people who are talking impact, who are thinking about, wow, I want to change millions of lives in this arena, about hunger, tech, augmented reality, robotics, you name it, neuroscience. And you just filter through communication and through words and through messaging the right type of people and invest in that. And I believe that if the right type of individuals with big influence unite, then every big issue problem on this earth would be shifted in less than 3 years. I had a quote, about my mission, like a tsunami. A tsunami, it's not a positive word, but it was in my mind.
I get what you're saying.
A tsunami of empathic leaders could shift the biostructure of this earth in less than 3 years. It was a quote of mine. I was thinking about it for the last 5-7 years. And this is where I want to play a big role, to also connect the right type of leaders around the world who would never talk with each other, another issue, and be the mediator, be that kind of common voice that can bring them together. Because if the right type of leaders take the same action, they solve the misery on this world in any kind of field. So that's impact.
Wow. I love it. Love it. Such great information you are sharing here. And again, we encourage listeners out there, to share this show with your colleagues in your organizations or peers outside. Just some great information. You're going to get to know how you can get in contact with Cristina here a little bit later in the show. So Cristina, in terms of impact, this is a process, and we're very big here about processes in terms of how we can embrace a process that will eventually lead us to the results that we're seeking, especially when it comes to influence and, impacting others in a positive way. Do you see amplifying impact, whatever that may mean, as a process? Like it's not like one size fits all, everyone's going to have, I guess, their process that's going to take them to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Like we can talk about my example. If you just start like a no name in any field, your impact will be low because no one knows you and don't know what you really want to make. So that's why even headlines, short headlines like amplifying impact, my short headline is important to know at least from where to take a person. And so first, you define where you want to go, always with the end goal in mind. You cannot achieve big things if you don't have the end goal in mind. And this is also very valid for companies, because if you don't have a vision for your employees, you will never be a great company. That vision needs to be everywhere and talked about and be real, become real, palpable, like being part of something. We are heading in that way where we will be. So create that kind of very, very vivid vision about the future where you want to go, even if it's super, super ambitious and maybe you don't even believe 100% that you can get there, but that's something that makes you wake up in the morning and it's just so exciting because it's everywhere in your body, in your cells. That's how much you want it. And then when you find that kind of vision, you are able to create impact around you and start to shape that kind of right messaging in a way that you start to attract the right people around you. And then the steps, because we are thinking processes. You have the vision and you need to create the steps to get there. And you have your personal steps and the most important steps that are dependent on you as a person, not on an external force or other person, because that's always something variable like in math. And it's not on you. So if you don't have anyone to help you, what would be those steps that you would take to get to your vision? And when you consider that things that are dependent on other people and circumstances, that can vary, but you won't vary on the road. And so what are your steps that are dependent on you, your strength, your determination, your discipline? Because I know we both love Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn was the person who truly armed me with disciplines, a word I hated, something I really didn't like a lot, and that I started to shift because of him. So that kind of discipline that, okay, I am able to keep this road and these steps until I get to that vision that keeps me up at night. And then, okay, then you can contour what type of help you will need from the environment, right? The second layer of help, and how you can build that around each of your steps. And if it's about influence and huge impact on the world, you will need to consider a lot of people. And while you are growing as a person, your skill sets improving, you become a better communicator, you become a better leader, and based on your skill sets and your strengths, you improve on those and you limit those that you're not good. Here there are debates, you should improve the strength you have, or you should improve the weakest link you have as a skill. And I think that you shouldn't spend too much time on your weakest link, because it's like, I cannot just be a basketball player in NFL because I want that and that's my dream, and I shouldn't focus too much energy on that because it's
absolutely. Try to become something I just never going to be. Yes, I agree 100%. I always say capitalize and enhance your strengths and minimize your weak. There are plenty of resources and tools to help you do that. Yeah, if you can get a little better at it, hey, no problem. But if you spend your time trying to get better at something that you're never going to be great at, what value are you giving to yourself and other people anyway? Not much. So exactly. Like some of my nicknames with Profiler or People Reader or Sherlock Holmes, it's based on humans and people, understanding them and being intuitive, empath, seeing a little bit beyond what you can see about a person. Well, I capitalized on that because I saw early on that I'm good with people. I'm very interested in truly knowing them, not just the shallow outside part. And I capitalized knowing more, thinking about how can I improve,
making medicine for psychiatry, psychology, neuroscience, cognitive sciences, behavioral economics, and so on, and digging inside NLP, inside these fields that can create a broader spectrum for me, and then combine it with business, because business is people. And I was interested in both people, but as an entrepreneurial self, I constantly navigated between both. And so how can I enable awesome businesses to get to the point they want, but having the right people and enabling the right people to get there? Because I'm all in about the future and generations. And I'm not like, some saying that after me, it can come anything because I just don't care. I will die and so what? No, yeah. I'm very interested, especially the parents, right? What will happen with our kids, the planet, the future, and some just saying that, but you can feel this so easily, the people who are just saying that, and the people who are truly invested, they truly are concerned about how much destruction they create around us, and how they enable the future generations afterwards, after them.
Yeah, no, so true. So true what you've shared here. So much great information. I know we're getting towards the end of the show, and I want to make sure we get people that, get to know you. But before we do, if you could just leave the audience with your impact statement. I know amplifying impact is your statement, but just something in 30 seconds that can just really leave them with some great impact from what you shared today.
Yeah. About my mission, right? I want to be next to those visionary leaders who truly have a big dream ahead that will improve our world in the future. And those leaders need all the help they can get. And I truly understand and emphasize with all of those hardships they will go through the years, and knowing who to trust, who to not trust, not losing themselves and their mental health status, which is very, very important, and their entire well-being, which is important, because I consider many founders and startups just died because there was no one at the right moment next to them to keep that crash, away from them. And so I want to be that kind of secret weapon for those amazing individuals when they need it, in what way they need it to truly realize their dreams.
Love it. Love it. Well, Cristina, I want to thank you personally for taking time out of your schedule to be with us here today at Business Influencers. And thank you for all you do. And we want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity, not only they heard you here today, but that will be listening later, but how they can get in contact with you, what you're up to, or anything that you'd like to share or provide them.
Yeah, sure. So you can just check out my LinkedIn, Cristina Imre, and you will find all the handles there. I'm on all social media channels, but you can create a first impact connection on LinkedIn, and check out my website, quantumwins.life.
Quantumwins.life. Come on, you can't remember that, everybody. That's easy to remember. Quantumwins.life. So we will make sure that is in the show notes. Again, we highly encourage everybody to reach out to Cristina. I know she's very, she's always around. I mean, she might be, if you're in North America, she might be 7, 8, 9 hours ahead, but that's okay. She's accessible, and she is just a wealth of knowledge. So we highly encourage everyone to reach out to Cristina. Cristina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Chris, so much.
And thank you, audience, each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. Again, if you enjoyed what you heard here today, drop us a line at chris@christophersalem.com. Also, reach out to us at TALRadio.org. We'd love to hear from you. And again, if there's any subject matter or content that you're looking to hear here on the show, again, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to listen and find out what works for you. And we will make sure to bring in other subject matter experts like Cristina to share their words of wisdom and insights to take your level of influence in business to the next level. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.